Well, say you're a cocaine dealer, and you kind of look like one a little bit.
As do you. You look like a cocaine user, so
yeah,
we're even.
I'm too thin, I know. I'm twitchy. But say you're a cocaine dealer or a heroin merchant. All right, and you're trying to smuggle across, and you know there's 10,000 National Guard on the other side of the border. You're not likely to do that. You're going to find another way to do it. It's an intimidator.
That's a reactionary approach. Like you said, you're going to find another way to do it.
Right.
Instead of working on that and worrying about that, why not worry about the guns going in? Why not change trade policy?
I'm worrying about one thing. The drug cartels sending tons of narcotics into the United States. I can stop that.
They can't send them in if we don't have large amounts of bulk cash and guns going that way.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
It's about getting to the root.
No. You listen to me and then you answer my questions.
I'm trying to answer your
simple.
questions. Go ahead.
What religion is involved with Christmas? What religion?
Christianity.
That's not a religion. That's a philosophy.
Okay, so since the dawn of time, the winter solstice has been celebrated by multiple religions.
The winter solstice?
The winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. No, this is the point. You asked my point.
You can celebrate winter solstice?
Yes, and you can celebrate Christmas, but our government can't take sides. The government doesn't say this is a good religion, this is a bad religion.
Look,
the government can't say this is a
Mr.
Christmas
Silverman,
tree. Yes,
it is a fact that Christianity is not a religion. It is a philosophy. Well, if the government were saying that the Methodist religion, all right, deserves a special place in the public square, I would be on your side.
So you're going to actually tell me on live television that Christianity is not a religion?
Correct. It is a philosophy.
You and I are going to fundamentally disagree on that point.
You are wrong. Judaism is a religion.
They are sects of Christianity. And you know what? It's really not cool for you to try and cloud it. It's not cool for you to cloud this issue. This issue is about religious neutrality from the government.
If you read the Constitution, it says the government cannot promote a religion.
No, it says the Congress shall not establish any laws respecting an establishment of religion.
A religion.
Yes.
Not a philosophy. Okay?
So you wouldn't have a problem then with the government of the United States establishing atheism, because that's also a philosophy. That would be fair for you.
Establishing it? What does that mean?
So we'll put in God we don't trust on all the points.
You can put your winter solstice
One nation under no God in the Pledge of Allegiance.
If you wanted to go down to Albany, go up to Albany, New York, and put a happy winter solstice on Andrew Cuomo's office door, I got no problem with it.
Yeah, you would. I think you would.
No,
but I wouldn't.
Don't tell me what I think. When I said I didn't have a problem, I don't have a problem.
Sir,
got it?
Sir? If you had you would have a problem with it.
No, I would not.
I'm challenging you on that. You would.
Challenging?
I'm challenging you on it. Yeah, I do know you. I watch your show. Look,
that's ridiculous.
And it wouldn't be right either. It wouldn't be right either, because the governor is not in a position of promoting atheism.
Winter solstice is not a religion.
No,
it's a holiday. If he wants to put winter solstice up on his office door, I got no problem.
Actually, it's a celestial event, and you're right. It would be secular. But if you put up there, "In God we do not trust."
I'm sorry. I just said Jesus Christ. That's a religious. He was a man. Now look. This is so unreasonable. You are so unreasonable.
No, it's not unreasonable.
It's frightening.
I'm not unreasonable at all.
You absolutely are.
The government has to be fair. The government has to not take sides. Everybody is equal. Everybody has the same rights.
It's a federal holiday. Why don't you get off your butt and get it revoked? Because your view is insane.
No, it's not.
You can celebrate Christmas without being a Christian. You're a merry band of fascists.
Fascists.
Right? Yeah.
Fascists.
You get it revoked.
You call me a fascist.
Absolutely.
I am a patriot, sir. I am a patriot who's taking the crazy notion that everybody in this country is equal and that the government has to treat everybody fairly.
Therefore, they should banish Christmas trees.
I did not say banish Christmas trees. I said
from the public square. That's what you do. That's what you want.
That's not what I do. Stop telling me what I do.
All right.
We demand equality. We demand equality from the government, and it's our constitutional right, and you should be demanding it along with me.
Meaning the Canadian military wants to take a breather, to do some yoga, paint landscapes, run on the beach in gorgeous white capri pants. Leslie added that there is no one to repair the tanks, nor are there any ready tanks for soldiers to train on. So a hiatus is needed to get their armored act together. Doug, I go to you first because this is a very important question. I want you to take it seriously. Isn't this the perfect time to invade this ridiculous country? They have no army. Would Canada be able to get away with this if they didn't share a border with the most powerful country in the universe.
No, they probably wouldn't. And I mean, does this surprise any of us? I mean,
it surprises me.
Well, you're stupid.
No need for that, kind sir.
We have police officers and they have Mounties. Our cops ride heavily armored cars. They ride horses. We have bulletproof vests. They have wonderful little red jackets that can be seen a mile away. This is not a smart culture, Greg.
Really?
Yes, but so they're getting manicures, they're getting pedicures. Everybody needs a little bit.
But isn't Canada doing, Monica, what most of Europe does anyway, which is just rely on USA in case anything bad happens?
Of course, they couldn't take a year off from their military if they didn't have the security backdrop of the United States.
But the other thing you should be worried about, Greg, is Canada starts this. Who's our other border? Mexico. They're going to start relying on our army, too. Remember, it's not Canada, it's Mexico that likes the siesta.
The president, as you know, spoke last night to the Congressional Black Caucus about Obamacare, and here's part of what he said.
Let me say, as clearly as I can, it is not going to happen. We have come too far. We've overcome far darker threats than those. We will not negotiate.
We've overcome far darker threats than those, he tells the Congressional Black Caucus. That is a dog whistle. That is the race card being played. Can you see any other explanation for it?
Oh, I don't know. I think to get to the real point, though, they are not going to compromise on
what
this.
Do you mean? Isn't it news if the president says to the Congressional Black Caucus, we have overcome far bigger threats? I mean, that's taking the rhetoric to a new place, is it not?
I don't know, Tucker. Do you want me to talk about the health care?
Yeah, if you would. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. What I was going to say is that I don't think that there is going to be
The United States simply hasn't figured out how to do solar effectively
Right.
and cheaply. You look at the country of Germany, it's working out great for them.
It is working out great for them, and we just have to figure out where we want to be as a nation.
Right. What was Germany doing correct? Are they just a smaller country that made it more feasible?
They're a smaller country, and they've got lots of sun, right? They've got a lot more sun than we do, and the problem is it's a cloudy day and it's raining, you're not going to have it. I mean, this nation is vast and beautiful in its makeup. In California, it's a great solution.
Sure.
Here on the East Coast, it's just not going to work.
They offered up countless consequences to practicing unsafe sex, to taking drugs, and I really don't think that if you went to the conference and you heard the stuff, there was that much objectionable material.
I don't know. I read all the transcripts and I thought it was inappropriate. I agree with Andrew. But what did you learn from it, Jesse? What would you give me the big thing you learned from that conference? Go.
Well, I think it was good to learn that adults can be very honest about these topics. They came out, they told us a lot of stuff about LSD, a lot of the negative stuff. Joel Becker said that a lot of his friends died from ecstasy or from LSD. If I can read a quote, he said, "I lost a lot of friends. I had one friend who jumped out a third-story window. He thought he could fly." That's just one example.
Okay,
they weren't glamorizing drug use at all.
The same man then said, if I had some ecstasy here, maybe I'd do it with you. Same guy. And ecstasy
he didn't say that at all. I actually have the quote right here. He never said anything about doing ecstasy with any of the students. He was responding to a question about governmental use of LSD and how the military created LSD.
No, he said, if I had some LSD, if I had some ecstasy, maybe I'd do it with you. I don't know who with you.
He didn't say with you. I have the exact quote right here.
Read it.
Okay, one sec. I have to get to the page. He said, even today there are psychiatrists who will do sessions under the influence of ecstasy. If I had some, maybe I'd do it with somebody, but I don't, you know. I haven't tried it, but there are people that do it.
There you go.
It was a joke, perhaps in poor taste, and he never said...
That's condoning it.
It was a joke in poor taste, and I think it's ironic that you would point out condoning drug use when in your own book, The O'Reilly Factor for Kids, you liken a high school student, a model student, quote-unquote, toking on Saturday nights to a brain surgeon enjoying a martini while not on call.
Okay. You took it totally out of context. Look, I know what you pinheads did.
I didn't. I can read the exact quote. I can read the whole paragraph if you want.
No. You don't have to read it.
It's on page 67.
I never encouraged anybody to take drugs in O'Reilly Factor for Kids. If you read the book, you'd know that.
And they never encouraged us to take drugs
And it's a very anti-drug book. And this is totally dishonest, and don't get into doing this.
We do understand the tides. The tides are part of the 4% we understand. So Bill O'Reilly's giving a list of things that are fully understood. If he had given a list of things that are not understood, okay, that would be a different reaction. And it would be less susceptible to comedic mockery than saying, tides come in and out, you can't explain that. It's like, yes, we can. We've known that one for the last couple of 100 years. Give me a better example. So if he said, there's dark matter, and there's dark energy forcing an expansion of the universe so fast that it's accelerating, you can't explain that. Right. We can't explain it. Okay. I don't think he knows enough physics to be able to tell us what it is we don't understand yet. That would have been a more interesting exchange with the atheist guy. I forgot his name, forgive me, but the guy who he was interviewing. Now, if he wants to use that as evidence for God, but then we just have to come back and say, well, doesn't mean if you don't understand something and the community of physicists don't understand it, that means God did it? Is that how you want to play this game? Because if it is, here's a list of the things in the past that the physicists at the time didn't understand. And a talk show you might have conducted 200 years ago would have said, the planets do retrograde? Can't understand that, must be a God. And we'd say, you know, you're right. And then 10 years later, we understand it, so what do you do? So if that's how you want to invoke your evidence for God, then God is an ever-receding pocket of scientific ignorance that's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as time moves on. So just be ready for that to happen, if that's how you want to come at the problem. So that's just simply the God of the gaps argument. It's been around forever.
So in fact, people who want to make arguments.
And by the way, wait, and I don't even mind, I don't even care if someone wants to say, you don't understand that, God did it. That doesn't even bother me. What would bother me is if you were so content in that answer that you no longer had curiosity to learn how it happened. If the day you stop looking because you're content God did it, I don't need you in the lab. You're useless